Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Packaging Strategies magazine. And today we're highlighting Beardwood&Co, who recently won a Designalytics Effectiveness Award for their collaboration with Pure Protein on a redesign for their protein bar packaging. Here to discuss this is Sarah Williams, co-CEO of Beardwood&Co. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here.
Well, first off, I wanted to wish you congratulations on the Designalytics Effectiveness Award and just ask you what the award means to you and your organization.
Well, this award for us is very, very meaningful. We are huge fans of design analytics in general. I think anytime we can work with them in particular to really isolate the value of design to drive sales growth, that is hugely important. We know that, how design reaches people, connects with them on an emotional level, helps them navigate and find their brand and product they love at shelf or online. And really, particularly when you're looking at a brand evolution or a brand redesign, being able to kind of track that and assign that to growth. That's so important to be able to kind of assess in the design process. So for us, Designalytics and this award as an evaluation tool and being recognized in that way is something that we really, really cherish.
So, how did this collaboration with Pure Protein come about, and what were their packaging goals they initially communicated to you?
Yeah, well, I think what's interesting is Pure Protein has been one of the kind of original protein brands, and they've had a loyal following since the 1990s. And even though they kind of were one of the establishers of the protein category, it's been really, really interesting to see how the category has grown and proliferated. When you look at that aisle, when you look at the range of offerings. So I think as we started to have conversations with the folks at the brand, it was really about, how do we pay homage and be really respectful of the brand as, an originator in this category of those loyal customers, knowing that there are real equities that exist within this brand, the boldness of the brand expression, the blue of the logo treatment. But then how do we make sure we're also bringing people along in kind of this refreshed look and feel? And I think a lot of the conversations we had with the brand team, which were really important, is the way people engage with protein products and snacking has really evolved. It's, changed from something that was much more geared toward fitness enthusiasts to a true lifestyle kind of product, something that you're taking with you kind of on the go in every aspect of your busy life. And they've really expanded the brand beyond core protein powders, bars, shakes, into, a wider variety of snacking offerings and flavors. So in this brand evolution, it was making sure that we really amplified all of those new innovations, flavor offerings, and really created space for their portfolio to continue to grow and expand as we know, again, that this is becoming very much more a lifestyle choice for consumers to have this protein snack offering versus, again, just something that you're having and consuming after your hardcore gym workout.
So, you kind of mentioned this. You were talking about changes in the protein bar space over the past couple of years and having the packaging reflect that. Were there any changes you noticed in that space that were really prominent and that really stuck out? And did that present a challenge in accomplishing this goal?
Yeah, I think what's been really interesting to look at the category with established brands like Pure Protein, as well as new startup brands entering the space. There's really a brand, a product, a look and feel for everyone out there. But as Pure Protein is really a category leader, again with that loyal following, the other thing that they have as a real advantage to their offering is this incredible range of flavor profiles. So one of the things that we really dug into is how do we amplify that in the imagery. And that's something I think we felt like they deserved more credit for, So really defining that imagery style, because we know people kind of get emotionally attached to their favorite flavors. It starts to become part of their daily routine. They start to look forward to that, but they also want to be kind of excited by some of those new flavor introductions. So having this real dynamic energy approach to how we created this very, very ownable, distinctive imagery style for Pure Protein, because that is, again, where a lot of the sort of emotional connection to the brand and sort of looking forward to that, loyal favorite connection to this on-the-go snack you bring with you every day comes through. So that was really, really critical, I think, as we dug into the project here, and something we feel was really helpful to the growth of the brand ultimately.
So you mentioned kind of maintaining links to the old logo, but still bringing in fresh changes that reflect the era that we're in. Um, I'm just curious, what were probably the most prominent changes you brought to the packaging redesign? And did these changes teach you anything new about packaging design from this project?
Yeah, I think that in terms of how we wanted to look at this, there were those equities I mentioned we wanted to kind of pay mind to with this loyal following. There was this blue equity that existed for the brand. So part of this was making sure that remain consistent. An ownable color in this space is important to carry forward, but really kind of refreshing and energizing that. It always had a bolder approach to their branding and logo type treatment, but we wanted to really contemporize that and make sure that felt like a brand for me today. So bringing them kind of forward into this more modern era. And then I think something that we have learned working on Pure Protein, as well as many other what we would call better for you brands, is that it's so important and so critical to make sure we're really delivering those product benefits. In this case, the protein, obviously, to deliver on the name. But again, making sure people are really able to kind of connect exactly with what the value of the protein that they're getting it is immediately, and any of those other quick facts right away. Those are like the core judgments they're making in that quick decision making cycle. So the communication hierarchy here is a key learning and key factor after delivering the yum that
Mhm.
you absolutely have to make sure comes through.
Well, from a general viewpoint, do you feel that there's certain lessons or principles from this pure protein project that you feel can be applied to any packaging design in general?
Yeah, I think, some of the things we always want to make sure that we're doing. Number one, we want to continue to always align on those criteria for success. So oftentimes, it's starting with those conversations around what are your growth goals? What are your objectives? Where do you see your brand looking to grow in the future, in terms of new product innovations, things like that. So we can make sure we're accounting for those and how we're, shaping the branding. We also want to make sure that we're really paying attention to those consumer insights and that research and feedback learning along the way, because we want to stretch and flex to make sure, again, that we're taking full advantage of the opportunity of a brand refresh or redesign to paint that runway for that future, but we also want to make sure we're doing it in a way that's still got that emotional connection and equity. So those are things that we bring to every project, regardless of brand or category. And I think having a sense of collaboration and partnership, so that that journey always feels like time to have those rich dialogues around what's working, what's not, is there new information that we need to take into account that, the brand is receiving. So again, that we make that journey lead to a strong and successful result.
Wonderful. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Sarah Williams of Beardwood&Co., thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Brett, thank you so much for having me. It really was fun chatting with you, and we love Pure Protein and really are excited to see them grow as a brand and appreciate you asking such wonderful questions.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching.